I'm in 7th grade when I get my period for the first time. I go through the entire school day without knowing it started. I get cramps, but ignore them because I think it's just a stomach ache. I ignore the feeling on my bus ride home while waiting for my sister at the bus stop and the walk home. When I finally get to my house, I go to the bathroom for the first time all day. I look down and see it. The blood is brown and there are little clumps. When I wipe, the toilet paper is covered in the same brown stuff. I remember my sisters telling me that when I do get my period, the blood will most likely be brown. Deep down, I know it's my period. But here's the problem. I'm a big overthinker. I reread my texts a million times before I send them, and I spend hours color coordinating what I'm going to wear to school. I'm such a big overthinker, in fact, that I find a way to overthink getting my period. What if I didn't actually get my period? What do I say then? Oh my God, what do I do? I convinced myself that I didn't actually start my period and that I have somehow shit my pants. I'm so afraid my sisters will make fun of me, I don't tell them. I don't even change my underwear. Panicking, I make a deal with myself. Okay, Siobhan, if the brown stuff is there again tomorrow, I'll tell one of my sisters. Sure enough, I wake up the next day and the blood is still there. So I follow through with my plan and tell one of my sisters. To my dismay, my younger sister runs to tell my older sister that I got my period. I am so mad at her. But why? Why am I mad at her when we talk about periods all the time and they both know I was excited to get mine? I'm young when we started talking about it, around 7 or 8 years old. I find a book in my sister's room called It's Perfectly Normal. In the book, a bird and a bee offer their thoughts and comments as a narrator explains the human body and the changes it goes through as you get older. The bee character acts grossed out and hates learning about periods, sex, and bodily anatomy. But as the story goes on, the bee's opinions start to change. The bird helps the bee to realize that learning about our bodies isn't gross, it's, just like the book says, perfectly normal. With the help of these characters, I learned so much about my own body and what it goes through during puberty, as well as what a man's body goes through. Unlike the bee character, none of the stuff in the book grosses me out. That's because there's never any stigma in my family surrounding periods. My 2 older sisters aren't afraid to talk openly about their periods, complaining to me when they get it. I ask them tons of questions. They even draw me diagrams, pointing out different parts of the uterus, explaining what they do. They even show me what happens when a tampon is put in water. My dad is never grossed out or embarrassed about period products. He happily picks up pads for my sisters when he runs to the store, even if he gets a little confused and needs help picking them out the right ones. I'm fascinated by it all. One time, I even asked my mom if I could put on a pad for practice. But really, I just want to know what it feels like. I'm excited to get my period and I'm convinced I'll get it soon. And yet, despite everything I'm taught by my family, when I finally do get my period in 7th grade, why am I completely unprepared? Thinking back on it, I think it's because even though periods aren't taboo in my household and I'm educated on the topic, society has made it hard to hold on to what my family has taught me. Like in 4th grade. My teacher tells my class that they are separating the boys and the girls so that we could all watch a video about our bodies. In our video, people talk about how our bodies change and that everyone is different. At one point in the movie, a cartoon of the female body appears. It's nothing like the detailed, informative drawings in It's Perfectly Normal. Instead, it's a strange blue figure that looks more like a silhouette of a woman than a realistic figure. At that point in the movie, I turn around and see another girl in my class looking absolutely disgusted by it. She's crazy, I think. I mean, how can someone be so disgusted by something so normal? As the video goes on, I begin to wonder what it's going to be like when we finally get to the part about periods. Except, that part never comes. The video stops working. Instead, the school nurse talks to us very briefly about periods and shows us, very poorly, how to put on a pad. Then, I kid you not. The nurse tells us not to use tampons. Even at 9 years old, I was raging on the inside. I mean, what? I think about how this type of misinformation could cause someone who could really benefit from using tampons to never use them. I am so thankful for all the work my family put into preparing me for my period, even if I still got embarrassed when I got it. Now that I'm a part of the Period Power Club, I'm reminded why it's so important to end stigma and shame around periods. I have the ability to help other women feel okay about getting their periods. Just like the bird and the bee taught me, I hope by telling my story, I can let others know periods are perfectly normal.